The political turmoil in Egypt is causing concern not only for Egyptians in the country, but for those abroad. The diaspora in France has joined the rival protests, which saw the President Mohammed Morsi be removed by the army on the 3rd of July. The battle to restore democracy in Egypt fought all the way to France. The huge crowds massed in the streets of Egypt's cities are now gathering in Paris as the diaspora joins the divide that has split loyalists from opponents of Mohamed Morsi.
I am here to protest against the robbery of my vote, against the robbery of democracy. We are here against the military coup. What has been done in Egypt since more than 10 days is a real masquerade.
In office only a year as the first democratically elected leader of Egypt, Mohamed Morsi was ousted from power by the military following a mass anti-government protest on the 30th of June.
The army carried out a coup, and here they're calling it a democratic coup. What does that mean, a democratic coup? I've never heard anything like it in my life. Will the French people carry out a coup against François Hollande? Does the army have the right to carry out a coup against the President François Hollande? It's impossible.
But his opponents have hailed his overthrow as a legitimate revolution.
I think Morsi was a danger in democracy. He didn't keep his promise. He didn't try and get the economy come back to equilibrium. And I think that Islamists are really a danger to democracy today.
Fervent displays of emotion on both sides have led to violent clashes, including the killing of 51 Muslim Brotherhood supporters. For analysts, excluding the Muslim Brotherhood from a democratic process would be a mistake.
They will not get rid of, easily, of the Muslim Brothers. They have to deal with them. It's true that they tried to make a compromise to have them enter a new transition government, and they refuse. But at the same time, they have to find a kind of modus vivendi, as we say, with the Muslim Brotherhood. They exist.
Protesters claim the Islamist leader pursued a religious agenda at the expense of Egypt's economy. There were more than 22 million to sign a petition by opposition group Tamarod calling for Mr. Morsi's resignation, far more than the 13 million who voted for him.
Democracy comes from the people for the people. I elected you because you said you were going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, and your job is to do this. Your job is to make a planning, to elaborate strategies, to make an improvement into the society on the economical level, on the policies, on social levels, on cultural levels. If you're not doing it, then the power goes back to the street, the power goes back to the people and says, I'm not happy about it.
But choosing street democracy over the ballot box will complicate the task of Egypt's new interim government, which has scheduled elections within the next 6 months. For Morsi supporters, democracy will only be restored when Morsi is reinstated, making the prospect for national reconciliation uncertain. As in Egypt, pro- and anti-Morsi supporters are struggling to agree on the best model of democracy for their country. One side argues that Morsi should be reinstated, while the other claims that democracy should remain the will of the people. It's not sure how much impact their mobilization will have, if at all any. I'm Christina Okello for JN1 in Paris.